the wife won't like it. You see, the number one problem is my wife won't like it. My wife won't let me. And so it's hard to have a family if you're not the head of the house, if you don't have a submissive, obedient woman. So the system is the main issue because men have no authority in their household. Now, Jay Waller has a lot of money and a lot of freedom to where the women have to get in line with him or he'll leave. So his situation is very unique and rare in men in America today because most men have no authority and say in their households because the woman controls and runs the household, unfortunately.
Justin low-key about to repopulate the world?
Kids are awesome.
Is Justin
Single-handedly.
See, Jay Waller's doing the right thing by promoting white men having a lot of children. You see this guy in the white, he's a simp. He ain't got no women, he ain't married, he ain't got no kids. And I bet you money, I haven't researched this, Leanna Ross, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't have any kids even though she's married. She has not once said she's married, but she doesn't have any children. Now this podcast was a couple months ago, so I don't know her status now, but I can bet money she doesn't have kids. And she's married. That's the problem. White women run the relationship. I'm sure her husband, she said right now, you want to have kids, baby? He'll say, heck yeah, I've been wanting to have kids for a minute. But she is selfish. She's saying she's a trad woman, but she's not even having white babies. She's not even having kids. She runs the household. You can tell because she is speaking. Where's her husband? You know, her husband should be talking about their marriage and promoting kids, but she doesn't have any kids. And she wants to have the spotlight, the attention, instead of having kids, taking care of her man. Jay Waller's doing the right thing by promoting having kids. And this guy in the white is a trad cuck because he ain't having no white babies. He ain't even married. He's not masculine. He's pretty soft.
Single-handedly reverse the declining
They
birth rates?
got all these single women out here talking shit about shit, man. Well, cool. I'll have babies with you. What's up? Now, part of it is being a smart ass right now, right? To be honest. But look, if a guy decides to have a bunch of children, I mean, you see it happen all the time. Guy gets married, has a shitty father, shitty husband, ends up getting a divorce, and then goes has babies with the next chick, doing the same thing I'm doing, except I'm not a lying coward about it.
I hear you.
So,
I see that. I see.
A lot of men, what Jay Waller was saying is true. A lot of men do it sneakily, instead of being upfront that, hey, I want multiple women. But because they're not high status enough and they're afraid to lose the woman, they do things sneaky and have a bunch of girlfriends behind the main chick's back.
Is what it is.
But I think the big question is, I mean, it seems like you're really focused on self-improvement, which is awesome. And so I guess my question would be, is it ideal? Like, what are we striving towards individually, right? And what do we think is best for society? And I think kids want to know their parents love each other and are committed till death do they part to each other.
Yep.
Men can love multiple women. Men can love multiple women. Men have big hearts. I can have 3 wives and love all 3 of them. That's what she's projecting, because women cannot love multiple partners. They cannot. Their spirit normally aligns with one man. That's how they were built. Women were built to be virgins and to be married to that husband when they were virgin till death. Men were meant to repopulate, and they can have multiple women pregnant even in old age. Men can love multiple women. Women cannot love multiple men.
Say any of that wasn't true. You're the one saying that's not true.
Okay, but do you think it would be a little bit confusing for one of your kids if they found out, let's say theoretically?
No, because if they trust me enough to come to me, I'll just tell them the truth. What are we talking about? I'm not hiding from anything. I just told you.
I understand that.
It seems like you're challenging because you have a problem with it. I simply don't care.
So your kids, you're saying you don't care if they find out you have multiple mistresses?
If I had multiple women and then my kids came to me, then I would just talk to them like an adult. If they're adult enough to ask, I'm adult enough to tell them. Well, whatever they ask, I'm there for.
Jay Waller should have just told her, hey, in Africa, there's many countries in Africa that have multiple wives. Is their society stable? She'll have to answer yes. In the Middle East, they have multiple wives. Is it stable in Saudi Arabia? Yes. Done in end of debate. This idea that you can't have a country run by multiple wives. Now you have to put a cap on it because dudes like Elon Musk would have 1,000 wives while the rest of us have no women. So you have to put a cap and just be like, okay, if you meet certain financial requirements, you can have 4 wives. That's the only thing. You can run a society with polygyny. You can. There's many countries in the modern day that has polygyny.
That's it. Find somebody else. I don't feel bad. I'm gonna live in truth. Here's the difference between me and most men. Most men are doing this shit behind people's back, right? Like a fucking coward. And they're not even giving the family the life that they deserve. So if I choose to do that in the future, which I have not said I'm gonna do, then so be it. But if I don't, I don't.
I hear you. I guess that you're saying you don't want to share your relationship status, but then you just said people are hiding it and being a coward. So I guess I think
there's a difference between not wanting to share one's relationship status publicly on a platform like this versus
you have only one place in your heart for one woman, or you want to have one woman in your heart, I think you said. Why don't you just commit to one and choose to be faithful to her?
The reason why men have a high sex drive. We only marry women because that's the quickest access to get the draws. Men want multiple wives because we have an extremely high sex drive. Let me tell you all this. One woman cannot satisfy one man. Men can have sex every day, especially if they're high T, high testosterone, and lift weights and stuff. One woman cannot satisfy one man sexually. They cannot, because women have cramps, they have periods, they have mood swings, their body not for it, they have their days. But a man needs multiple women in order to satisfy his sexual desires so that he can perform and not have to worry about that area which he's lacking sexually. So if he has 3 wives, if one wife don't want to give him sex, he can go to the second or third wife to fulfill his needs. Men marry multiple women for sex. End of story.
I'm just not wired that way. I spent my whole 20s trying to fix myself. I thought something was wrong with me.
You're a man of self-control. You work out, you do business.
Yeah.
You can possess your own power and direct it the way you want to direct it. It's just not how I am.
So basically, she wants him to suppress his natural masculine desires. Men have been doing that for years. And look what happens. Dudes are getting only because the wife doesn't want to have sex with the man. Men are paying for OnlyFans, jerking off the porn, while they got a whole body woman right there laying. She wants men to suppress their natural urges. There's a time for that, but a woman's first duty is to, 1, cater to his ego, satisfy his ego, manage his ego. Number 2 is to sexually desire or to sexually fulfill him. 3 is to take care of the family and the home and to alleviate the burdens of the house. She's to take care of the home so he can focus on creating business, getting the money, and elevating the family unit. If a man is suppressed sexually, he's going to go to other routes to fulfill that need. Having multiple wives fulfill that void so he doesn't have to do that. He can keep it in-house because he has 3 wives. So if the first wife doesn't want to give him the box, he can go to the second or third wife. This idea of suppressing your natural masculine urges is when you're married is crazy.